When we try to save money in our lives, there are quite a lot of things that we could stop buying. But I'm not here to tell you what to buy or what not to buy. That is essentially your own choice. I just would like to give you a list of 7 things to think of twice before getting them straight away. Number 1. Don't drink or smoke. I'm not your doctor, but as anyone, truly anyone could find out, drinking or smoking is quite harmful for your body if you exaggerate it. So I'm not saying that you should stop drinking or smoking altogether, because sometimes it might be quite difficult for you. But slow down a bit, because having a beer or 2 or 3 or 4 a night costs you a lot of money in the end. But you can not only save money on alcoholic drinks, you can basically save money on every kind of drink. If you're on the way to work maybe, or to university, to school, or on some trip, you might get thirsty eventually. And then it's just very tempting to get any kind of soft drink, a coffee, or grab something on the way. Well, this might seem a bit old school, but I actually think it is saving you a lot of money. Just take your own water bottle from home. You can use water from the tap if it's possible in your country, boil water if it's not possible, or get some water at the water fill stations in your country. And if you don't like the taste of plain water, well, get yourself a lemon. That's as easy as it is. Number 2. Designer clothes. Often we get distracted by brands when we want to get a new shirt, and we feel like we really need this one brand. But actually what we need is a new shirt. In the end, you're not paying for the item, you rather pay for the brand and the designer who made it, or for the cost it takes to advertise them. So that's something you could just get off your list. And if you want to have extraordinary clothes or something special, why not go to the local second-hand shop and see what is there? Often you can find designer clothes there that are a lot cheaper, or clothes that just look as fancy as any other designer's clothes. Or, if you're a bit more creative, you could become a designer yourself and just pimp up your own clothes. Number 3. Expensive mobile phones. Okay, I see, there is a point in getting the latest version of a mobile phone just because it's very cool and very trendy and very in. At least that's what the producer tells you. Actually, has some new features, but basically the newest version of a Samsung or the newest version of whatever other brand you might pick is just a little bit better than the older one. And if you're honest, what do you need your cell phone for? Do you do that many really fancy things, or are you in the end just texting on WhatsApp or flipping through pictures on Instagram or the like? If you're not using your phone for extraordinary things, or if you don't want to communicate with aliens somewhere in outer space, a normal phone will also do, and it will save you a lot of money. Also, almost always there is an alternative to buying new things. You could, for example, ask around in your extended family to see if somebody has recently changed their phone, and then let them buy this very fancy phone that they really need, and you just get their slightly older phones that are actually working quite well. There are even a lot of platforms on Facebook, for example, where you can get used phones that are still quite new and working well. However, you should make sure that you can trust the seller. Number 4. Fast food. Okay, let's admit it. There is a lot of temptation when it comes to fast food, takeaway food, food from the bakery, or any vendor on the street. It just smells extremely good. If you're, for example, on a long journey, you want to grab something quickly, and you want to have a nice meal in between the stops when you're at the train station, airport, bus station, or somewhere else on the way. Well, it takes a little bit of time, but it saves you a lot of money if you prepare your own food at home. And I know this sounds like a really simple advice, but it comes from the heart, trust me. It is just a nice thing to open up your own lunchbox and find what you've prepared in the morning, or maybe what somebody else has prepared for you. This saves you not only a lot of money, but actually also time that you would spend in the queue in front of fast food stalls while you're waiting. So the next time you reach your stop or layover destination, you could just open up your backpack and enjoy whatever you have with you. Number 5. Going out in general with your friends is a very cool plan for a Saturday night or Friday night or whatever kind of night. Actually, it's always a good plan, but it can also be very costly. So what can you do to have a good time with your friends without spending a lot of money? Well, you could go to the theater, but you could also go and watch a movie at somebody's place at home. At first, this might not seem that exciting, but if you're honest with yourself, wouldn't it be nice sometimes if you're in the cinema to comment the film, to eat your own food, to just relax in any position you would like to relax, or talk and laugh with your friends during the movie? Well, that's something you shouldn't really do in a cinema, but you can perfectly do at your best friend's home when you're watching the movie there together. So consider that to be an option. Why don't you invite your friends over to your own place, brew your own coffee, prepare some tea, maybe some nice cookies or some cake, or cook anything together that comes to your mind. In the end, this is way more relaxed and also gives you the opportunity to save some money. Number 6. Spending a lot of money on textbooks or just any kind of book. If you're a student, it might be that you need a lot of textbooks every year, and sometimes they can be extremely expensive. So what could you do to avoid those costs? Well, ask for example the previous batch in your study field. Maybe they have some old textbooks that you can use. Or just go and browse on the internet. Oftentimes, there is actually everything we need. And if you don't find it there, there's always the library, where you could scan certain books to avoid purchasing them and having them sitting at home. Because if we're honest, how often do we actually open them? Most of the time, they're just decoration, right? And finally, number 7. Stop spending those 5 to 10 cents on plastic bags. Depending on which country you're living in, you might be forced to pay an extra fee if you want to have a plastic bag when you purchase something. How difficult can it be to carry around your own bag? It's not only better for the environment because we have already a lot of plastic bags floating around in the oceans or somewhere else in the landscape. It is also better for your wallet. So you see, often it is not very difficult to save that much money. It costs you a little bit of creativity, a little bit of extra thought, but it pays off for sure. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like. For more content like this, subscribe to the channel and press that bell icon so you never miss any video. That's all for today, and we'll see you in the next one.